Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a Ubisoft News Play stream of Assassin's Creed Valhalla gameplay. I am one of your hosts, Chris Waters.
I am Yusuf McGeed, and as Chris said, we have a very special stream. As you can see, we are also joined by Jessica Maher here, game designer on Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Jessica, how are you doing?
Really well. Super excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Heck yeah. Thanks for getting in this boat. What are we doing, Yusuf? What's happening?
All right, so Chris, we're looking at my gameplay here, and I got some hands-on time with Valhalla recently. And the first thing we're starting off here is a riverside raid of a monastery.
Excellent. And I like you just blowing the horn straight up. I mean, a raid is not a subtle affair, right, Jess? Like that, people know you're coming. You're getting into it.
Yeah, like definitely if you take this course of action, if you blow the horn, you'll hear the bells, everybody knows you're coming. But there's also an option for you to be able to stealthily, I guess, scout out the location before your allies come barging in. In this case, less subtle, but there is an option.
Less subtle, the bowmen are waiting at the gates.
I have been called many things in my Assassin's Creed playing days. Subtle has rarely ever been one.
Excellent. So yeah, folks, what you're seeing here is footage taken from a work-in-progress build. The game is out in 4 weeks, but right now this is footage we pre-recorded from a work-in-progress build, and we selected some scenes to show off different parts of the gameplay and give you a deeper look at what's in store for you when Valhalla comes out. So, Jess, we're in the middle of combat here, and as a game designer, combat was kind of in your purview, is that correct?
Yep, so I wasn't directly involved in the designs of the fight. However, I did assist when it came to the experience and the user interface. And fight was something that was really important to the devs. We really wanted to step up once again our fight and make it really feel crunchy, visceral, and part of that Viking fantasy. So for sure, a lot of attention put into this.
And Yusuf, what kind of weapons are you working with here?
Yeah, so here I'm rolling with a one-handed axe and shield. Obviously, you'll see us, you'll see me switch weapons quite a bit throughout the demo. Dual wielding axes, dual wielding shields at one point.
I'm sorry to
going with the
Did you just,
two-handed
leap
battle
across the battlefield and stomp someone's head in?
Oh yeah. So yeah, if you see there's like 2 bars there, Chris, over a person, and if you drain one of them, which is like their stamina, you'll knock them down. And if that happens, you can stomp on them or execute like a finishing strike on them.
Nice.
That's right. Yep, and there's a couple ways you can do this too. I think you can use it through weak points with your bow. You can diminish their defense by parrying attacks. There's a couple ways to do this, and with stomping, it's a main skill that you can get in the skill tree. So you opt into this one.
Help me out here.
Nice. And now it's time to loot. I mean, that's part of the whole deal with a raid, right? You gotta get the booty.
That's why you're here. That's definitely why you're here. Bring it back to the settlement, build some new things, perhaps a tattoo shop or something to enhance your Drakkar or change its appearance. There's so many things you can do with the loot you find in raids.
Now, you just said the Drakkar.
So in this case, we got raw materials.
Right?
Word of our growing settlement has reached
The
out.
Drakkar.
Yeah, raw materials.
So
Okay.
have a look around.
The Drakkar is what you call
You may see
the
familiar
longboat.
faces.
Is that correct?
Yes, yeah, that's right.
I want to see
Okay,
the
just getting the
Alliance
terms
map.
down. Sorry, Yusuf, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, so in this case, we got raw materials and supplies. Now, what exactly are we gonna use those for?
Tell me more about
Right, so
Leicestershire.
those are
I should like to join Sigurd soon.
resources for
We
your
travel to a
settlement,
town called
mainly.
Repton
So what you
to
do
meet
there
Eivor
is,
and Eivor
when you
Ragnarsson.
arrive, of course,
As
your
I
settlement
hear,
is not
they are on
built.
the verge of
You're
exiling
kind
the
of
King of
building
Mercia
yourself in this
with the hope
land,
of
and
installing
in
a
order
king of their
to
own.
create services
bold
or
endeavor.
to have
I shall be there to
places
help
for
wherever I
your
can.
new
I
allies
think you
or
should.
people who came with you from Norway to England for them to stay, you need to use these resources. So they're really made to build, and you can build at any order you like.
won't keep
So
them
if you
waiting.
really want to
Good.
have
I will
tattoos
send word to
immediately,
Sigurd
you
and
can start with
Ragnarsson.
that.
Pledge
But there's a
Uh-huh,
few
uh-huh.
things that
If I
you,
were you, I would go
like
by
there's an
ship.
order of things, but in
Repton is
general
quite
it's
a
up to you to
distance
pick.
north
And as
on
you
the River
gain
Trent.
renown, more opportunities are available. So yeah, lots to do with resources in the settlement and so many things to build.
Nice.
Got it.
And Yusuf, I see here you are rocking the dual shields. Is that what I'm seeing?
I do have the dual shield. We'll see some dual shield fighting in a bit.
Really?
But that last scene. Oh yes. Oh yeah.
I'm excited.
So here we got we're going to sort of win over the land of Leicestershire, and we're told to meet up with the Ragnarsons. So this is Eivor Ragnarsson. And we'll meet his brother, and then Eivor's brother Sigurd is already with them.
That's right.
Oh, what is happening here? This doesn't seem like a sanitary situation.
Oh, he's very friendly. You'll see.
All spies.
And folks, as you know, you can play as male or female Eivor, and we'll be switching throughout the footage to give you a look at both of those characters' models in cutscenes and in action.
Yeah, we've already been switching a little bit.
Sending spies.
Yikes! Oh no, no!
This is such a great introduction.
Not my thing.
I figured.
So Jessica, Viking torture methods, was this part of your design process? We really get into what kind of gross stuff they did to each other.
Oh yeah, every morning before going to work, I just rewatch this scene. It really inspires me. No, Eivor is a particular kind of character. He's very unique in his approach. You could tell his values are a bit more primal, very visceral in general. So he's definitely one of those unique people you'll get to meet along your journey.
Excellent. Doesn't seem too fond of Saxons, I'll say that.
He has, you know, he finds benefits in either Saxons and Danes. This guy didn't seem to be very useful to him, so we'll see what he thinks about other ones. But yeah, he's smart though. I'll give him that. You'll get to see a bit about how he thinks. But he has a twist, definitely.
Yeah, and so this is one of the Ragnar sons in this Sons of Ragnar quest. And Yusuf, this is a quest to kind of like build up your influence in the region and kind of like start like. You're not just fortifying your settlement and your place through resources and through combat, but also through alliances.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think, you know, there's this idea that Vikings are all raiders and, you know, warriors and take everything they want through force. But, like, the actual truth of it was that there was a lot of, like, deal making and diplomacy going on. And so in this case, the current king of Mercia is someone named Burgred, who hates the Danes, and you know, Eivor and Sigurd and the Sons of Ragnar want to install their own king, who can rule over Danes and Saxons alike. And so that's sort of what this mission quest is you know, dethroning the current king and creating a peaceful transition of power to the next one. So it has to be peaceful.
I'd gouge out your tongue and shove it up your ass.
Classic Eivor.
Now fuck off.
So now we're like jumping ahead a little bit in the quest to get to a different point to show you folks. Set us up here, Yusuf. What kind of machinations are in play?
Right. So yeah, you got Sigurd there on the left. That's Eivor's brother, and then you have Uba there, who's Eivor's brother. So you got two sets of siblings here, and we're gonna meet the king that they want to install on the Mercian throne here, a man named Ceolwulf here.
Our dear Thane Ceolwulf here.
Oh, there he is. What's up, buddy?
Perfect timing.
But it's what Mercia
Oh, yeah.
needs just now.
Heavy on the furs. You know, it gets chilly out there.
Very noble.
Excellent. And so now, while we're interrogating this guy a little bit, Jess, can you tell us a little bit more about sort of what your, what kind of stuff you specialized in on the team? What kind of elements of the game design were your focus?
I hope you have come.
Sure. So my main focuses were user experience and user interface, meaning that each mechanic that needed, you know, some user interface for support or to explain or tutorialize, I might have participated in that, and otherwise everything for accessibility, which there's a great point in the demo. I don't think we'll be covering it, but soon there shall be more information available. So for those that are there for this, I'm really excited for you guys to see what we've done, and looking forward to your feedback.
Oh, absolutely. And if you folks are curious about accessibility options, you know, that doesn't just include stuff like, you know, customizing the subtitles, changing the kind of, you know, for color blindness, changing the color of the UI. It includes a whole raft of things. And what I'm going to do is in the Twitch chat right now, I'm going to put a link to more information about accessibility in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Tons of settings in there that all players are going to like want to get a little bit of, you know, whether it's customizing your HUD or you know, customizing your control input. A lot of great stuff there. So go check that link out in the Twitch chat, or if you're watching on YouTube, just go over to news.ubisoft.com. You can find more information there.
Well said, Chris. So what they've been talking about here is Wolf basically says that, hey, if we want this to be a transition of power where the Saxons in Mercia and the Danes of Mercia will follow me and believe in my rule, then this needs to be a peaceful transition of power. Burgred has to essentially, you know, almost willingly give this up, or else people won't follow me. And so we can't just go and murder Burgred in cold blood and steal his crown and say, okay, here, Wolf, you take it.
Now, when you say peaceful transition of power, you mean like not going to be a regicide involved, but
yeah, more like a forced retirement. Yeah.
There might be a threat in there, you know.
Just a little bit, just a little, you know.
Just a push.
You never said this one was a poet.
oh, you're a poet. And so is
We have a
Eivor,
forward
of course.
camp just north of Tamworth. Will you go with us?
You'll be able to find quite a few people who are quick-witted in this game, with the flitting especially. My god, real poets in there.
Oh yeah, we have some flighting coming on a little bit later, and it's one of my favorite things to do.
Same, exactly. I've really grown to enjoy the challenge. It's really something that grows on you. It's so creative.
That, for you folks, you're going to see it in a little bit here during our stream. It's more of a verbal sparring than sword or shield combat, but here we are starting the Leicestershire. Did I say that right?
Leicestershire.
Leicestershire. Man, I gotta get my pronunciations down. All right, so we're jumping forward a little bit. Yusuf, tell us where we're at here.
Yeah, so now you know, we're exploring a bit of the open world, checking out some of the side activities in the world that you can discover. We're still in the region of Leicestershire. That's where the whole demo takes place.
That just rolls off your tongue, man. You got it down.
I mean, that's what happens when you play a game for you know, multiple hours. But yeah, this is one of my favorite sequences here. There was an item on the top of these rooms that I was trying to get to, and then I get up here and I find a giant enemy.
Oh, nice.
Dude, he just beamed you with a barrel. And he threw you off.
Oh.
Grabbed me and threw me off. Yeah, instant death.
No way. Oh, wow.
Worked so hard.
But wait. Okay, so I reloaded, and I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna get him back. Don't worry.
Don't worry. Oh, man. Wow. I mean, it honestly,
There's so
at
many
first,
great archetypes.
it's like a bear of a man. I mean, good.
So I take out
lord.
one.
Goliath. I mean, that's a fitting name. All right, Yusuf.
So I
Going for the
gotta
barrel
be
again.
quick this time.
Smashing the
Nice.
barrel. That's good. Goliath is turtling up. Ooh, coming for
All
you.
right,
Good.
now here we go, Chris. This is the part I was waiting for.
Oh, sweet revenge!
He's not the only one that can throw himself off.
What a finish.
I mean-
well done. Well done.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Oh.
But yeah, that was one of the combat abilities that you see there on the bottom right. There are 4 mapped to the face buttons, like you might remember in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And then once you have a bar of adrenaline, which is in the bottom left corner there, you can activate your abilities.
Exactly.
So was that bolt charge move one of your abilities?
Yeah, it's the top one. So if you hold right trigger, it you know, activates those, and then it's the one on top. So you know, I was playing on Xbox here. It would have been mapped to the Y button.
The high
There's
wire
also
act
a-
makes me nervous. I don't know. I know you're not calm,
It is
but come on.
stressful.
Sorry, Jess, what were you gonna say?
Oh, it's just about abilities in general. There's also the idea that you have to earn the abilities here, so you have to explore a lot of the environment in order to find them. In this case, of course, in the demo, we give you a couple fun ones, but typically you have to earn them yourself through exploration. So
Nice.
But we actually have some of that coming up of how you actually go about earning abilities. But this was actually a really cool little environmental challenge that I just stumbled upon in the world. I came across, there was something in this temple that was, marked on my compass. And when I went up to the front door, it was barred and I couldn't get in, and there were no openings. So I sort of climbed around and looked, and I saw this exposed window brick area here. And I realized if I can bring out my predator bow and shoot the barricade, I can unlock the door. And there was no mission for this. Like, it was just out in the world.
Well, and also you had that handy note to be like, hey.
Yeah.
Maybe you should.
Uh-oh. Dude wearing a ghillie suit? These guys are camouflaging. Eivor's here. Hello. Give me your stuff.
No doorbell, so you just have to go in.
Exactly. And we got the loot.
Nice, wealth chest.
Okay, so now I see that was wealth collected, and I see this sort of wealth bar. So there's like wealth and raw materials. These are like different kind of types of resources you gather in each region.
That's right. Yeah. So where raw materials come in is more for your settlement, for your people, for you to expand your renown. But when it comes to wealth, typically it's a bit more for Eivor to find weapons or things to upgrade your gear. And we through the exploration, we kind of show you the closest ones within the territory, and it's up to you to find them or not. It's the world is huge, and there's lots of things to find if you want to.
Including two shields,
Chris.
This is the battle I've been waiting for.
Yeah. So I was actually really surprised at how effective this is, just like damage-wise. I thought it would be like a really kind of like tanky loadout and like, maybe do a lot of stun damage, but not necessarily take a lot of health away. But it's a totally viable loadout.
It's legit. I mean, if we let you do it, it can be legit.
Taking care of the two shields business. Folks in the Twitch chat, we are checking in there for any questions y'all have. I saw some people asking about PC specs, and so I'm going to throw a little link in there. Again, you can find this article on news.ubisoft.com if you want to get an idea of where Assassin's Creed Valhalla is how it's gonna run on your system, what your targets can be. Go ahead and check that out. But sorry, I can't talk through one of these.
So, Jess, I mean, long-time viewers of our stream and Chris know very well that I'm a sucker for AC sync points. It's like my favorite mechanic in any game ever. And each one, especially in a new ACE, just gives me chills.
Is it like the music? Is it the view? Like, is it the combination of everything? Like,
the music swells so well with the view, and like you just get to see the open expanse of the world and how big it is and how far you could travel if you wanted to. It's
100%.
all of it.
Thank you.
It's so good. It's definitely the Assassin's Creed fantasy there for sure.
I have sparred against champions and best.
All right, we had our first example of flighting here.
Oh, to beat such a bracket will surely be fun.
Ah, quick to bite back.
Ooh, okay, so that was the right choice. But so, what is governing the choices here? Like, what's going to help you zing these guys a little better?
There is some rules to flitting in general. So if I'm not mistaken, I'm no expert myself. I often end up failing, but it's about the nature of the flitting. So if they're talking about intelligence, you don't want to start talking about simple-minded insults, and also the pacing. So trying to rhyme. So it's a combination of just trying to keep the same pace but have a harsher response. So yeah, that's how you can figure out whether or not you have it right.
I'm impressed. You are as sharp as that axe on your belt.
Shout out to Godrich, the person in the middle there, who's just like essentially your barometer of like how well you answer. Yeah, but the total hype man, and like a little cute jump in there that was like, yeah.
They can be super harsh too. Like if you don't get it, oh my god, they tell you.
It just reminds me of the that super hot fire meme when like everyone's just like, oh.
Exactly.
And the thunder of shields.
Super harsh.
Yes. It's good to have you with us.
To fight beside such legends is an honor. I've only heard tales of your conquests.
Hey now.
We also saw there
legends
just at the end, at the completion of the fighting, that our charisma went up. Well, what exactly is charisma? Like, what does that govern?
hammered on the
Right,
anvil of
so
war.
charisma is earned mainly through flitting, and essentially what it
Calm
does
me,
is that it allows to unlock
Fight's not
certain
here.
dialogue options
The
in
fight
a
is nowhere
specific
to be found
context.
in this
So,
boy.
for example,
boy
sometimes
who
you'd have the
happens to be
answer
Geralt's son.
yes, the answer
Why
no,
is he
and
not
if
in
you
his
were to have
quarters?
enough
Our
charisma,
future
then maybe
king
there'd be
was a
the answer
battle-hardened
of
heir.
find a
Time
deal in the
proves his
middle, or
worth.
something a bit
Don't you
more
think?
diplomatic, or maybe something that might be more in your favor. So
Can't
if
be an
players do a lot
heir
of
if
flitting,
he's
which can
dead,
be found in
Eivor.
local
Can he
towns,
wield a sword?
taverns, and
I've
stuff
had
like
some
that,
training.
they'll be able to
I only-
use this charisma to
I
their
don't want to
benefit
kill
in
anyone.
context.
These men are my
Oh,
friends.
awesome.
My countrymen.
So it behooves you to do all your
They
flitting
won't call
challenges.
you friend now.
Yes.
You can thank your father for that.
Eivor!
We have a question
comes
coming in,
with
Jess,
us.
from Healthy
should
Cucumber in the
anything
Twitch chat,
happen to
asking
this
about
fiddle's
weapons and
ground,
armor.
I will
Is
bear
that
the
something we're
punishment
gonna,
of future king
like,
and
when we're
flex.
exploring, are we
You'll want
finding
to
those in,
remove your
like,
head.
chests and places? Do enemies
you
drop
hear
them in
that,
combat?
boy?
What's the best way
You
to kind of,
die,
like,
and I'll have to
expand
kill
your arsenal?
father, too.
So if you stick to the
Look
main
at
path,
these
meaning no
pagan
exploration,
rats.
just quest by quest, you'll of
Ravenous,
course come across a
unseemly
couple weapons
beasts
and a couple
teeming
pieces.
over holy
But the
ground.
best way to get the
Other
most
kennels.
diverse
These
spectrum of
pagan
weapons is
rats are
probably
nobles.
through
I
exploration,
can
mainly
see
through
that, fool.
searching for wealth.
What do we do
So
about
in
them?
each territory will
I
give you an
advise we
approximate amount
strongly
of, well,
consider their
it's actually
demands,
pretty
Lord.
specific, sorry.
We
It's a
won't
specific
survive
amount
the
of wealth
Is
that can be
that
found,
you,
and within
Leofric?
wealth you can either find
How
gear,
quickly you
weapons, or
recover.
ingots that can
I'm
be
beginning to
used
wonder
to
if it is a
enhance or
man
upgrade this
or
gear.
a god beneath
So
all
that would be the
armor.
best route that I'd recommend. It's
A
also
man
the most
of
fun since
God
you get to
stands
enjoy the
before you,
environment.
Eivor.
But yeah, so it's a
Proud
mix
and
of both.
resolute.
But mainly I would say wealth is the best way to
That's
go if you
Burger's
really
war
want
theme.
it.
Killed a dozen of our
Nice.
men in an ambush along the river Trent.
Hot tips already for you
It was
folks.
Eivor's ex.
Getting ready
Quick
for the
tips
release.
on exploration.
That
Yeah.
is a poor description of a perfect 30-yard
So Chris, we
cross.
have the two sets of siblings here, Eivor, Sigurd, Uba, and Eivor, and this is Burger, the current king of Mercia, with his war-thane Leofric. And Leofric is sort of this formidable warrior that's like the last loyal thane to the king. And they basically approached peacefully and said, hey, like, here's your chance. And he said, well, you gotta come take my crown, essentially. So we are now assaulting his fortress.
Thank you for the invitation. We will happily oblige.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so
You're
you
gonna
got
make us go full Viking? We'll go full Viking.
And I like this like late sunset, like burning orange light hour. Like it seems like an auspicious hour for battle.
Almost romantic.
You know, it really covers up some of the blood. Yeah, just it's the best time to assault.
The warm glow before, imminent death.
Ooh, that's one of my favorite finishers. So you can see we're dual wielding here, one-handed axe in one hand and a hammer in the other. So they don't need to be like the same exact weapon type or anything, as long as they're both one-handed weapons. And yeah, the hammer just makes for brutal takedowns.
The sound too, the sound effect on the hammer. Oof, I love it.
That was one of my favorite abilities there too, the harpoon throw, where you throw the harpoon into someone and then you could throw them in a direction. And if they hit another enemy, it will chunk both of their health.
Yes. Yeah, any obstacle, ideally a person, then it would deal damage to both. But yeah, anytime you make it hit something, it's pretty critical damage for sure.
Something other than people? What are you alluding to?
Walls, obstacles,
Oh, okay.
boxes. Ideally not yourself, but maybe.
Ideally
Well,
not
maybe
yourself.
some mythical creatures.
Hey, why not?
You done it. You done it. Ooh.
Light Yongi saying block, please. I never block. All right, that's just how.
I would
If you
agree
want
with him,
heavy
though.
block, if
Blocking's
you want
great.
strategic blocking gameplay, you came to the wrong place. We are, just a reminder, folks, this is pre-recorded gameplay from a work-in-progress build. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is coming out next month, November 10th. And we're just giving you a little preview look here at some more gameplay
Take 3 men
and
and
some of the
search
characters
the
you're
rear.
going to be able to associate with,
Look
whether you
around.
like it or not.
See what you
Just
can
kidding.
find.
Ivar's cool. I'm
I'll send
fine.
for
I'm over the
Chell.
torture thing.
Tell him we found the throne.
We like him now.
Eivor makes a quick beeline to that throne there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Who wouldn't want to sit on a
Sorry.
throne? I mean, look, if you roll up in a place and there's a throne, you want to sit there. Just like if you roll up to a place and there's a dog, you want to pet it. Oh,
He puts his paw on you.
oh my goodness. The dog has such a big fuzzy neck.
So what happened there, Chris, is that we rolled up into Bergred's throne room and realized he's not there. So he's somewhere missing. We got to go find out where he could be. But before we do that, I headed back to
have you got for me
Ravensthorpe,
today?
which is our settlement.
Oh, you're going to customize
And-
the look?
Oh yeah, you can head to the barber and tattoo shop, Chris,
Okay, okay,
and we can customize our tattoos.
okay. Getting a look at a few of them here. I like it. I like it. Jormungandr. We have some folks, some For Honor fans in the chat recognize that name.
Oh, great.
Yeah, you can also change the hair color as well.
And so this is customizing both, you know, and we're obviously seeing Eivor as a woman here, but Eivor is also, you can play as a man, and they're totally, it's not like similar to Odyssey in that they are different characters. They're the same character. You can switch during your adventure if you want to mix it up. Is that correct, Jess?
Yeah, oh, 100%. You can change nearly at any time during the game if you want to. We have 3 options. We have fully male, fully female, or let the animus decide.
Oh, okay. Wait, so
like
does the animus decide, will it stick with one, or will it kind of like mix it up?
I believe the description that we give so far is that it takes the stream, the memory stream or the data stream that is strongest at that time, and
okay.
it is the default
warrior's now have a place to
selection.
rest
But
and
of course,
train.
if you have a really strong
Fine shelter
preference,
it is.
by all means,
When
both are
word gets
totally
out,
valid
it should
choices.
attract many
Cool.
Jomsviking got to fight with us. Which reminds me, a few of your raiders are chomping at the bit in hope of becoming your second. You ought to pick one.
So just we have this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna tee this up because this is something called the Viking, and I basically talked to this woman outside of the barracks, and she said there's a bunch of people who want to be my second, who want to be my lieutenant, and this is where I get to sort of customize that. But
That's
what
right.
exactly is this person? What do they do for you, Jess?
So a Viking is a raider that is sworn to you and essentially will always be on your ship. You can choose their appearance and change their gender, and once you lock that in, that is the character that is now your Viking. However, it's also a great opportunity for you to equip, really amazing loot on them, make them look amazing, and once the game is launched, you'll be able to share your Viking. So once let's say you're not in the settlement or you're not raiding actively, your friends can actually take your Viking with them, and if they do raids with your friends, they can come back and give you a bounty, or loot from that. So that's what a Viking is. I personally like to put my finest gear on them and have my friends play with them, so that's the best route.
Yusuf, you better not be sending no scrub-looking Viking over to my ship. I'm not having it.
Oh no, trust me, Chris. Eivor Mushroom Eater is only the finest warrior around.
Put them in like the default clothing you get at the first in the first part of the game.
Just rags.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love.
Yeah.
It's good to be enthusiastic about things and have hobbies, Chris. And I'm just glad that Halvor, has a passion. And that's mushrooms.
What level do you have to get at with how much you love mushrooms to have people refer to you
That's
as
your nickname.
mushroom eater?
Damn.
Yes, Orlok. Join me.
Let us begin.
All right, Chris. This was probably this is one of the moments in the demo that totally caught me off guard of how invested and how much time I spent playing Orlog, which is this dice game. And just do you want to give a brief intro about what Orlog is and how it works?
Sure. So Orlog is our dice game. You can find it in some cities, sometimes next to where your team's set up, and it's a great opportunity for you to relax and play a game of dice. And so the point of the game is to deplete the health of the other player. In this instance, it'll be the kind of gems. And in order to do that, you can roll dice, and the dice have faces, offensive or defensive. And there's also another factor, which is God favors. So those are the kind of statues that you see on the side there, and they'll be able to be summoned through what we just saw now, which are favors, and if you have enough, you can summon powers. So that's the basics of it. You can earn God favors as you go, and you can select them as well. It's really fun, and it's a great place to like mix and match or combine different abilities.
I like it.
Yeah, I got absolutely addicted to this. I
Really?
played
Oh,
like 3
that's
different
great.
matches. I had to remind myself of like, wait, no, this is not the game. This is just part of the game.
I am Eivor.
yeah.
I am Eivor.
Yes. Yeah.
Folks,
But yeah,
while
you're
we
seeing
check
like
out-
arrows, you're seeing hands, you see like axes, helmets, shields, and so arrows and axes attack the opponent's like remaining health, and then shields and helmets block each one of those respective ones, and then the little hand gesture will actually steal gold from your opponent. And any faces that come up with a gold outline will gain you gold, and then gold you can spend on god powers, which are represented by those little totems you see to the right of my dish. In this case, yeah, it was deal. I can spend gold to deal 5 damage.
Folks, while we're watching the what's it called? Ogre?
Orlog.
Orlog. While we're watching the Orlog game play out,
Ogre.
quick reminder that what you're seeing right now is captured from a PC work-in-progress version of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. The gameplay is pre-recorded, and we've edited it together for time to show off as many different things as we can during our live stream. We are live and chatting about what we see on screen, and also trying to take questions occasionally. So go ahead and throw in a question in the chat. We've also got Gabe in the chat. Shout out to him answering questions from the Assassin's Creed community development team. Super glad to have you joining us. So keep an eye out for those questions, and we'll try to answer the ones that we can as we explore and keep you updated on what you're seeing here, and descend into a dark place filled with spiders and rats. My favorite. Absolute favorite.
So cozy.
So there's a big old shiny glowing thing here, Jess, and can you tell us exactly what this is?
Right, so those are books of knowledge, which can also be found via wealth. I forgot to mention that earlier, how could I? But they are part of the wealth, and essentially you have to find the way to get to it, and once you do get that book of knowledge, you'll be able to either unlock a new ability, or you'll be able to upgrade an ability if it's the second time you find that same book of knowledge within the world. So that's what we're looking for right now.
So are these like consistent like places, like this book of knowledge there that I'm finding here that's going to give me a certain ability? Will that be the same for everyone, or will that be like this is the place you go to find harpoon impalement? Is that it?
Yes, I believe they're fixed. So they are all set in certain areas of the world, so you'll have to explore to find all of them. But no, they're not random.
Oh, very cool. I like that.
All right, Jess, I got a few rapid-fire questions I want to throw at you here while we look at these melee abilities.
Okay. Okay.
Wing Slap wants to know, does the weather affect your ability for stealth gameplay?
I don't believe so. Not my area of expertise personally, but I don't believe so. If I'm wrong, I hope Anouk or the HR team can correct me, but pretty sure no.
Well, no wonder you got the nickname, man. Mushroom Eater. What's this seal doing? Wait a minute. Sorry, rapid-fire questions on hold. We're in a hallucination challenge?
Halvor recommended that I try out some of these local mushrooms, and let me tell you, it was an interesting time. It gave me this hallucination challenge. Suddenly there were seals on the ground and gates surrounding me.
Sure. Seems natural.
Yeah,
Normal,
and
totally.
it turned out to be a little bit of a puzzle where I had to figure out kind of what to do. And then I realized that there was one very helpful seal that was directing me to the proper gate. And when I walk through it, it turns white. And so I have to enter the gates in the proper order.
Question from Dagar is asking about mounts. Are there mounts? Can you mount this seal? Can you ride this seal?
Not to my knowledge.
No, it's just like,
if only.
Wait, you get horses?
Yes, yeah, you can get horses. I Mostly horses. I think we have a couple surprises in there, but let's assume horses.
Okay, sounds good. Folks are curious about the map size compared to Odyssey. This one's quite sizable compared to it, right?
I'm not an expert when it comes to comparing map sizes, unfortunately. It is vast, and we have a couple environments also to be explored. We also have, Norway initially. So if we count that all together, I would say it's, comparable. It's a very big environment.
Excellent. Yusuf, you completed the mystery.
We are no longer hallucinating on random woodland mushrooms.
Fly Agar.
Oh, this is what I thought was one of the more sort of like humorous side quests, Chris. And it's kind of revealing the origin of one of our a very well loved culinary ingredient.
Oh please, I'm
Mushrooms?
irritated enough already. The last thing I need is someone lying to my face.
It is a
Something that's a bit harder to pronounce.
Take it. What are you brewing anyway?
I call it Leicestershire sauce.
That is a mouthful. What is wrong with it?
It doesn't come close to meriting such a sizable name. That's what's wrong with it. And I've tried. Lord, have I tried. But I cannot, for the life of me, strike the perfect balance.
It's tough out here, man.
I should just give up.
As I look around, that is hard to argue.
You wouldn't happen to be carrying an eel, would you?
Not the first thing I grab when I set off for the day. No.
I've fished everything in Leicester but the eel.
And you think this elusive river snake could be the answer to your sauce woes?
There's only one way to know for sure.
All right, if I wrangle one, I shall bring it to you.
Yes,
Chris, tell me about your sauce woes.
And you think this elusive river snake?
Thank you.
All your sauce woes. All right, Yusuf, time to solve some
Poet.
sauce woes.
Oh yeah, and it starts with fishing. So we headed out to the river nearby, trying to catch an eel.
All right, while you're eel fishing, Hadden Jedi wants to know, I've never played an AC game before. What do I have to know to understand what's happening here? And Yusuf, I'm curious because you've played a ton of AC games before as well. What's your take on
I
it?
have, yeah. I've played basically every AC game. So there's never a bad time to jump into Assassin's Creed. You can jump into any entry that interests you. Valhalla is going to be your first. You can totally do that as well. Each sort of historical story would is essentially stands on its own. It's the modern day story is what is persistent throughout the games. And it's that's easy enough to catch up on, or I think the dev teams do really good jobs of sort of catching players up on what they may have missed in the past. So yeah, never a bad time to jump in.
Totally agreed.
So you've got an eel? You're swinging the sauce?
We gave the eel.
Not quite there.
Needs more eel.
Sauce woes persist.
I've had worse.
I suppose that's it then. It's over. Time for me to pack up my things and see what the fruits of another kingdom might offer me.
Where will you go?
Worcester, I think. Though I'll be buggered if I'm going to name my sauce after that paltry place. Thank you for all your help. I don't know many days,
Listen,
and I
this is
don't
the thing I
care
like
to,
about Assassin's
but you've
Creed
helped
is
bring
like
closure to this journey.
in many
If I
ways
could ask
it
one
tells these
more
epic
favor of
tales
you,
and has these
it would be
like
to take
characters that are
this failure
so
to the
like
grottos
involved
below
and
my
moving
home.
in these stories
I
that
can't
make you
stand the
feel like a
sight of it.
friggin'
Farewell.
hero.
Luck be with you.
But they're also fun and funny, and you get to meet characters who are trying to brew up sauce. Like it like makes that world feel so much more rich and interesting to explore. I love it.
I also like that I now have a better idea of how to pronounce that sauce, because I don't know about you, Chris. Anytime I see it, I just always kind of just mumble my way through it, or just say it really fast. Worcestershire sauce. Yeah. But now I'm just gonna be like, oh, it's Worcestershire sauce.
I think we can say Worcestershire.
What have you seen?
I don't know.
Soldiers are plenty.
That's a Northeast thing, all right?
That is true. That's New England vibes right there coming out.
Is here. Sure of it.
All right. What is happening in... Well, actually, first, folks, I see a bunch of people asking sort of about deeper story stuff, about present-day stuff. We're not really touching on that much during this stream. We're focusing more on the different gameplay segments we're showing off. But I'm going to put this in chat, and sorry to be talking over this. Look in chat for a link on more story stuff.
Thanks to my brother, now we are into making them.
I'm going to talk
No
about...
small tension between you two. Thought you'd be more like-minded.
You and Sigurd, you always see eye to eye?
More often than not.
You are still young. You live to my age and you will see. The closer you get, the greater the stink that rises.
Ew. When he says closer to my age, he means like 28, right? That's old when you're a Viking.
Yeah,
Give
definitely.
him a chance.
Eivor is actually 14.
Seeing us in
Yeah.
Bergen. Stay here and wait for your scout. I'm going in.
They grow beards very early.
Listen, man,
Normally.
you get out on them raids, you grow up real quick. So what's happening here? We're about to, I presume you're going to jump off of this, and if you don't, I will end the stream right now. Okay, good.
So
Be
when we finished that assault, we saw that Bergrid was nowhere to be found, and so he's gone missing, and we have a few leads on where he might be. So Eivor has sent in the scout here to into the city, the town of Leicester, and we're going to go investigate what the scouts found, or we don't know where the scout is right now. Maybe they've been caught, maybe they're stuck somewhere. So we have to go investigate.
But it's stealthy time now. We got the hood up and everything, moving through, and now, the hood obviously is not like total hiding. You see the guard sort of alert things, queuing up there or not, but you managed to make it to the bench to.
Oh yeah, we're blending in the bench. And Jess, I want to ask you, because this is a new mechanic to Assassin's Creed. I think longtime fans are used to seeing that this is a hostile area and that that red bar underneath the compass. But this is a distrust area. What exactly does that mean, as opposed to a restricted area, which we see now?
So distrust areas don't attack you on sight necessarily. If you keep a certain distance from guards or from authoritative figures of that location, they won't attack you right away. They might even ask you to back off. But if you break that or if you stay too long, they'll start attacking on sight. So these are usually the best places to wear cloaks or to use stealth mechanics for sure. Or, just kill them. Option B. Always option B.
Yeah, that too, right?
Listen,
no problem.
Aerial assassinate. Gotta do it. Gotta do it. It's so good. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, here comes some more. Pulling out the bow. Oh, nice shot.
Nice.
Right in the old
Thank you.
I like it. Now, did you have fun with these dual axes, Yusuf? What do you think?
Yeah, the dual axes to me was, I didn't have there wasn't a weapon combo I didn't enjoy. The dual axes definitely seemed like a very high damage output build though, and felt very Viking-ish, if I must admit.
Jess, what's your vibe? What do you like to? Do you have a weapon preference? Do you have a style preference when you go into combat?
It's hard to say. Typically, I revolve around a two-handed axe, a big axe. Those are kind of my favorite. But what's cool with the game in general is if you hold what is it? Is it right? It's right bumper or trigger? I forget what we call the ability. Sorry about that. But essentially, the combination will do a special attack, and the special attacks vary on the weapons that you're equipped. There's some also for solo weapons, so I really like the one for two-handed axe. But hammers are also my second choice.
She's in Temple, bro.
Nice. You like the heavy hitters.
Yep.
So, Chris, we broke in and we found out who Eivor's scout was, and it turns out to be Cheo Burt, who's Cheo Wolf, the king we're hoping to install son. And he was kind of trying to prove himself. He's not very battle-hardened at all. And so he kind of went out on a limb here and put himself in a dangerous position to try to scout out Bergrid's location, and we kind of had to bail him out of it. But now we have a new tip on where the queen actually is, Bergrid's wife, and the theory is that if we can find her, she can maybe tip us off to where Bergrid is.
Scouring the Shire in search of a king.
Okay. I thought there was going to be some light abduction happening here, but no, you're just going to go talk to her. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure
don't count out any light abductions yet, Chris.
We said passive takeover.
Yeah.
As am I.
It's non-violent.
No.
Non-violent may have been a strong word. Maybe, you know, forced is...
Deceitful.
Sure,
Alexis
yeah.
Dupree in the Twitch chat is asking, can I play this game just using a bow? I did that in Odyssey and loved it. What do you think?
I don't see why not. From my experience, you know, there's going to be some obstacles. I think there's a couple of bosses also that warrant hand-to-hand combat. We might have some events also where it's like fist fighting. Don't bring a bow to a fist fight. That's not a thing, but you know, don't do it. But in general, I would say I think it's pretty viable, and the skill tree also allows you to have certain abilities or skills, and you know, I think yeah, for sure.
Now, when we're looking at this is something I noticed before, but when you're looking at these enemies, we see some glowing, like an element of their arsenal is glowing. Is that a way to sort of like communicate what kind of enemies you're facing?
It certainly has helped that, yes. Once you use an ability to see your surroundings, it'll highlight either weak points, it'll highlight their weapons, so it gives you at least an idea as to what you're jumping into, which can be really important. There's so many archetypes. You don't want to run into, what was it, the Goliath too often without knowing.
Yeah, surprise Goliath. Nobody likes that.
No.
Yeah, knowing what kind of fight you're in for is definitely a good thing to have ahead of time. And the way you do that this time around, right, Jess, is with Odin's sight, not necessarily with scouting with your eagle or your raven, right?
Right, definitely for mid to close scouting, the Odin sight is your go-to. It pulses also, you know, everything that's related to exploration, so chests that are nearby. It also reveals what kind of wealth it is from a distance. So it really tells you a lot of information both for combat and for exploration purposes. I definitely recommend that. Raven is mostly to scout out far locations, see what you're dealing with, you know, in terms of a territory, in terms of how big a castle can be, or finding entrances to caves.
Your ladyship?
Nice.
Do not mind me. Only here to count my spoils.
He just shows up with
I love this scene.
Still trying.
Eivor, what the heck, man? The pigs are there too? Oh.
So we're interrogating Aylesworth here, essentially about where her husband is, and Eivor comes in with kind of a power move, kind of a negotiation tactic.
I want to tell this dude my secrets already. Just make him stop with the pigs and the heads.
My God!
Yeesh.
Get me out of here, please.
Talk now, and we'll draw you a nice warm bath.
You are asking me to betray my husband. How can I do that?
If you don't, you will betray countless others. In legend, you may be remembered as the king and queen who abandoned their kingdom in its darkest hour.
Oh, dang.
But there will be peace. This is Ceolwulf's promise, and it will be honored. You have my word.
Talk about putting that lady in a tough position. But hey, it was effective, and you didn't have to, like, you know, break out the dual shields.
No, only 3 people needed to be beheaded, Chris. I mean, it's a win. It's a net win.
Net win.
What an assault.
Her information tipped us off that Bergrid is in is down here in this crypt hiding out. So we're going to infiltrate it and to try to find him.
Wow, really disposing of the body very quickly there. I like that.
Instant cremation.
Oh gosh. Okay, R.I.P. All right, so down into the crypt on the trail of the king. So this is just like doing a little swimming, doing a little looting. Let me see if we can get another.
Oh yeah, there's some wealth down there, Chris.
Gotta get that wealth, baby. All right. 80 Cogs is asking about the HUD possibility, and like, yes, you could. There's a lot of HUD customization available. If you check out that article I posted earlier, it's an article on news.ubisoft.com about accessibility. It has a ton of information about different customization options. I'll put it in the Twitch chat, or just find it on news.ubisoft.com. Are you gonna go for that?
We got a new
spear you
weapon,
just
Chris.
picked up?
Like, oh yeah, I gotta check out the Fjord Spear.
Increase speed when dodging. All right, all right. Work on the range. I like the spear because it just keeps them a little bit away. You can poke them right away. Oh,
No, you don't.
All right, so we're seeing a little. Was that a little bit of a hidden blade in action there?
Except that since it's a little bit trickier, you won't be able to one-shot him at this point.
Yeah, we're tangling with some tougher foes. Is it the situation where the hidden blade you kind of upgrade it over time, or as you level up it gets more powerful?
I think its abilities mostly in the skill tree that will be able to enhance it. It's more about the difficulty of the enemy versus your own, and we give some options in order to enhance that. I think the previous demo also showed it. You can have a chance to one-shot based off of a mini game. Is one of the examples we have for the hidden blade.
Different ways you can implement that.
No, it can't
You
be.
found your guy.
Stay back.
Oh yes.
That's a bread knife, my lord. Do you mean to batter me?
Stay back. Back, I say. I'll fight you.
If you insist.
That's the last thing you want to hear when you threaten to fight someone.
If you
Luckily for you,
insist.
it won't come to that.
So just like you said, like this is a fight that you couldn't use a bow in because again you have to take Burgert alive. So he's coming at Eivor with a sword and shield, and Eivor's just handling him
Fist
with
fighting him back.
Ring his bell. Some folks in chat noticed this earlier, but I liked that move when you were just before you got in here. You like shot a dude in the knee because it was the weak spot, and that opened up that stun attack. Jess, talk to me about this. Do enemies have weak spots that present themselves? Is it something you kind of open up as you're fighting?
Right. Yes. So enemies do have weak spots, especially with the bow is something you can aim with. And once you get the weak spots, it'll reduce the defense bar significantly. And if that bar is completely reduced, you'll get to do a stun attack afterwards. There's a couple variations of this that come also with the main skills in the skill tree, but that's the basic of it. And then after that, it builds upon itself as you play.
Nice. Oh. You got a package
Yeah,
now.
and Chris, I really like using the light bow for that because it really allows you to fire off shots quick, and
Super quick,
it can be it can be great for nailing those weak spots.
I beg of you, please. I'll go anywhere. Here, I resign it. Here.
Take this
There you
lord
go.
and his wife to Rome. He is hereby exiled, never to return.
Doesn't sound so bad. Rome? I mean,
Rome in the 9th century isn't the Rome you know so well from other things, Chris.
this isn't Ezio era Rome.
No.
God save the king.
Or even Aya and Bayek era Rome.
That'll be worth all this trouble.
Mercy and soldiers marching on
God, I'm saying, man, got a free ride to Rome. There you go.
Loyal to the ugly and the bastard.
Gather what men you have and split them between the north and south gates. That should divide his forces.
Ooh, they're not giving up, huh?
Eivor, you must save my son.
He will come through this, I promise.
I will stay here with Childwolf. Go.
I feel like Eivor's making a lot of promises.
So yeah, Leofrich, the war thane, the formidable warrior that was loyal to Burgred, has attacked and marshaled sort of a last ditch effort against Eivor's means here, and so we gotta go handle it and save Ceolwulf's son as well.
Handled. Also rocking that big axe. This one's for you, Jess.
My favorite.
This axe was super cool. I came across it, and there was actually a little note saying that it was actually built or it was made for Leofrich, and then like we kind of stole it. But it has an ability where anytime you critical strike, like you just saw there, it lights on fire.
It's on fire.
Oh yeah.
I love when our writers leave like fragments of information. There's some all over the environment, and since I touch less in that in my day-to-day, I find them too, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's fun to like discover things about the game you worked on, because so many other people doing so many different things on it. Cool to learn that stuff as you play. All right, light fire and destruction around here. Gonna need some infrastructure rebuilding once you've got the new king installed. Right. But now you're taken to you're on the trail of Chilbert.
Leofrich.
Leofrich and
Yes.
Chilbert.
Yeah, Chilbert.
Chilbert.
I need your eyes.
We gotta get them down. Oh, what's up, Raven?
Chris, I expect you to come correct with these Anglo-Saxon pronunciations.
Man, don't worry, I'll get there.
You got until launch day, Chris.
Until launch day.
Oh yeah.
That's
All
less
right.
than 30 days.
All right, I'll study up.
Please,
Study up, no
you do
problem.
not want to do this. Leofred, let him walk. You answer to me.
I answer to my king. Our silence Danes with this.
Ooh, he's not having it.
Lay it by, Leofred. There's nothing left to fight for. We've stormed Repton. Only a matter of time.
Eivor is throwing out the olive
I
branch.
cannot do that.
I like it.
Then you will die.
Someone will.
Someone. Yeah, he's trying. It's like, look, man, we could throw down, but
Can't
why?
win this, Leofred. Even if you teach me practice once a day.
Ooh.
I have fought
Okay,
many
that's
a
that
Harpoon
harpoon
pistol.
we're talking about. Oh man, it's so good.
There was also something like kind of mean to me about this, of like defeating Leofric with the weapon that was originally made for him.
And he's defending a king that's now fled to Rome. So, and he has no idea.
That was a
Right.
big bite. That was a big bite. That stun attack.
Yeah, so he has weak points too that you can exploit with a bow.
Wow, that axe. Really heavy impact. Feels like he's gonna do something. He's gonna do something to you. Watch out! Yusuf, I believe in you, even though you're not playing this live right now. And we probably wouldn't be showing it if you lost this
Have
fight.
to, I'm sure you did great.
There we go. Oh, Leofric.
Go on then. End it.
What's the move?
No appeal to your god.
What did you choose?
Or your king.
So yeah, you got a choice here.
Swore an oath to serve Margaret to the death.
Chat, what would you choose? Yusuf has already made the choice. This is pre-recorded footage off a work-in-progress build, but what choice will you make? Arazes says kill.
You fought well.
Oh, you did?
With honor.
Oh yes.
You will go to your god as
Spoilers, we show you both choices.
Ready.
you are.
Oh, okay.
Name for men and women
Damn.
with courage like yours. Ring.
This is the choice I made though.
I
at
name
the
you
time.
one now.
I've never done that choice. Not once. Not once.
Really?
You gave him the warrior's
You
death?
deserve this.
Can't do it.
Oh, yeah.
Chose this.
Well, Eivor even has, somewhat, nice parting words for Leofric.
Yeah.
He does.
It aligns
Stand,
also with
Leofric.
Evor's values.
Live to
You
fight
die
another
as
day.
a warrior or a
What?
drenker, which
The
is what he
loyalty
had
to
dubbed him. So
Burgred
it
is
makes
not a
sense.
loyalty
It's just
returned. He
can't
resigned
do
the
it.
crown and fought for Rome. He's gone.
All right, so now
So
we're
here you
seeing
see the option
other
of sparing him.
Lives
Yeah,
are
yeah.
man's seconds from death. What would I gain? He saved himself and left you to die. All this fighting, it's for nothing. For no
How
one.
does he take it? I wonder.
To betray one so trusted, so close. It's a dishonor worth 1,000 deaths.
Eivor, you have shown me a great kindness. It is only fitting that I do the same. At Venonis, there is a statue with a scroll laid in a small bowl. You must burn it.
A scroll.
Your name is on this scroll. At Burgred's request, I put it there. When it is found, the zealots who read it will hunt you.
Who are they?
It doesn't matter now, you haven't much time. Burn the scroll, or they will never stop hunting you.
Where will you go now?
Rome.
Uh-oh, Bergie.
less passive now.
Oh yes.
Come on, let's take you back.
Take this, wolf-kissed.
So, Jess, we got a little bit of a mention there of zealots. Can you tell us a little bit about who they are?
You honor me.
I like the mystery that was kept in the demo, so I won't go too deep in them, but it is
Okay.
indeed
I like
a
that.
big thing to have a zealot after you. They're really strong archetypes, very good fighters, and typically they have a code or an alliance they follow. So there is a common mindset to them. You can find them roaming around, sometimes defending people, sometimes defending towns, and at launch you'll get to know much more about what they do in the world. But the fact that he gave you that hint is a pretty big move on his part. He must really appreciate you.
Saved his life.
Okay, so he's doing us a favor here.
Oh, definitely, 100%.
Is it nap
Chris,
time?
this is nap time. This is time for us to go to bed. Eivor had a long day of making kings. I think
Does
he
not
deserves his
remove
rest here.
armor. So tired from battle. I can see that. I mean, but now your pelts are getting all bloody and viscera-y. Listen, I don't know, man. I'm not a Viking. But I will be in a video game.
You will be on November 10th, Chris, when Assassin's Creed Valhalla comes out on Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, Xbox One, PS4, PC, Stadia, and Luna, and on November 12th coming to PlayStation 5 as well.
Boom.
And we're just wrapping up here with some fishing. You know, just a nice little peaceful, relaxing activity. But folks, that brings us to the end. I did. I want some more of that Leicestershire. Oh, see, now I'm screwing it up. Leicestershire sauce. There we go.
Sauce woes.
Sauce woes. My poor sauce woes. But Jess, thank you so much for joining us. And folks, thanks so much for watching.
Absolutely. This was a real treat to get a look at some pre-recorded gameplay of Valhalla. You folks saw a lot of different elements of the game in play there, from combat to dice throwing to maneuvering for alliances to flighting to eel problems. It's pretty great. Jess, what are you most excited for when Valhalla comes out?
Oh my gosh, so much. It's crazy. There's so many things to say, but in general, it's just for you guys to get that wow moment when you enter that world. It's so breathtaking, and Eivor is so captivating as a main character. So I'm really excited for people to step in the very heavy footsteps of Eivor and go through their journey. There's just so much. I'm so excited.
Sounds great. Well, congrats for all your hard work on the game. We're definitely looking forward to checking it out. Folks, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, or follow the channel here if you want to see more streams of upcoming Ubisoft games. We stream every Wednesday and Friday with the release of Watch Dogs Legion and Assassin's Creed Valhalla coming up very soon. You can bet you'll be seeing more of those games, as well as more goodness from other Ubisoft games, giveaways, etc., etc. We're here for you. We like to stream. It's a good time. Thanks so much for tuning in. That's a wrap. Have a great day.
Bye, everyone.